What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and today we're doing something a little bit different. So, as you can see, we're on the TCG player screen, or the TCG player site for buying the for Ancient Guardians. So, why are we on this screen? Well, instead of me talking about like prices and stuff like or market watches and like are these things viable and whether you should buy Ancient Guardians, I instead am going to talk to you about what it would cost to buy 3 copies of each of these cards, important cards, or at least the cards from Ancient Guardians itself for each archetype. Now, this does not include generic support found in other sets, nor extra deck, nor anything like that. The prices that I'm about to show you is about is if you were to buy 3 of each of the archetype cards. The only exception to this is the Ogdibus. I am putting in Snake Rain just because you kind of need Snake Rain, but every other card in the Ogdibus pricing is just 3 copies of each Ogdibus card. Same thing with the Sulfacord and the Archetype. So, so what's cool about this archetype, or what these 3 archetypes is, they actually run you for around the same price. So, if you want to buy any one of these, you're not really losing out on a ton in terms of pricing. Like, not one of them. One of them's not going to like completely break the bank on you if you were planning. And there isn't really a budget deck out of these 3. They all are at the same price for now. At the time of making this video, which is the release date of Ancient Guardians itself. So let's check out what each of the prices. I put them all in individually, and I saved a picture of each one after and all that. So I have it pulled up right here. So the starting price is about $79. The after shipping, same with the Sulfacord, it's almost 80, and then the Ogdibus is a little bit more pricey. Notice the number of cards change. That's because Archetype has a little bit less and stuff like that, and so does the Sulfacord and the Ogdibus. So like I said, these are only cards from their respective archetypes, which it's kind of funny. So out of all these decks, just if you want to play and buy them, I suggest you buy the singles. Do not buy, your booster boxes unless you are trying to support your local game store, because supporting local game stores is great. But as opposed to if you want to play something like but if you want to play any of these decks, the more fair versions of them, I'm not, and all that, they're not gonna break the bank necessarily. If you already have a lot of the other cards to make the deck good, and these pricings are literally if you buy 3 copies of each card, which most likely you're not gonna need, unless you really just like the deck. But yeah, so, let's talk about what I think about each archetype a little bit, and we'll go from there. So, the Asartic, I have not played it myself. It's the one out of the 3 I haven't played a lot of, but I have seen it played, and it does have a lot of cool combos and stuff like that. It's a very fair deck. You'll special summon a lot and synchro summon a lot and stuff like that, but you're not gonna really make anything too broken with it most of the time. You're gonna summon out like a couple synchros, and none of them are going to be like, haha, you can't play the game. But it doesn't mean that the deck's not bad, because you can synchro summon up, and you can OTK your opponent that way. So that's pretty cool. The Sulfacords, they're trying to like do this weird grindy thing, and I think that the problem that they have overall is that they don't do a good job of either OTKing or like locking your opponent out too well. However, they are a fun deck if you like them, and they're the quote unquote waifu deck. They're the cool deck, and as someone who enjoys music and stuff, I like the musical theme that they have, and that's pretty cool. Ogdibus. So, Ogdibus, you can play a fair version of it, which is the version I have on my YGO Pro. where it's just, oh, hey, Lair of Darkness, and I tribute my monsters, and I summon these big boards of these monsters, and I OTK, and stuff like that. That's the fair version. There is an FTK version of the deck that uses that and the Heretics and some of the other cards like that to FTK your opponent. So if you're into that, Ogdobus is probably the most competitively viable. However, uh, I don't know how consistent the FTK is going to be. It feels like a Ash Blossom alone stops the FTK from happening, and that kind of puts a damper on the whole thing since Ash Blossom is a very powerful card. An Effect Veiler even stops it if you Effect Veiler the right thing, and a a Ghost Ogre, I'm pretty sure a Ghost Ogre can stop it as well. So yeah, there's basically the FTK loses to any hand trap that is relevant in the game, or not even super relevant. Like Ghost Ogre's not even super relevant at the moment, but it still loses to it. Skullmeister is in the set, and it loses to Skullmeister as well. That Skullmeister will negate the activation of one of your Heraldics that you tribute, so that you can't make the like super big plays. But yeah, but in terms of like the fair deck and everything, because Ogdobus is the deck I've played the most because I've been waiting for a deck like it. I think that overall, if you these decks are really cool, and uh, if you want to support your local game store, buy a box and stuff like that, and do that, that's great. If you want to buy the cards and you just want the singles, I think that's the best way to do it. Don't buy boxes trying to get your don't buy boxes trying to get your like your play sets of cards and stuff like that. Buy the singles you need, and when you buy the singles you need, these are the prices that you can get the decks at this current point in time. If this deck, they could change, they could not change. And I think it's really cool that each and every one of these are around the same price. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment saying, hey, I appreciate it, whatever. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday. And if you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, my email is in the description. I would love to see them. You could show me the cool plays from the Earth's Arctic. You could show me some much better plays from the Sulfur that I'm giving them credit for. You could show me the Ogdobus cards if you want, and everything going off that's not an FTK, but making like these really cool boards. I would love to see all of those if you have them. So, and of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.